Voiceover. Today, we are going down memory lane. We are going into the heart of African marriages. We are going into the beauty, the wisdom, the pain, the silence, the expectations, the customs, the traditions, and the changing realities of marriage in our communities. Voiceover. This conversation is not to condemn Africa. This conversation is not to disrespect our parents, our elders, our customs, or the traditions that raised many of us. This conversation is not to judge men. It is not to judge women. It is not to attack families. It is not to say that everything old is bad, and it is not to say that everything modern is good. No. Voiceover. This conversation is about one thing: building happy, stable, respectful and healthy marriages. Because it is not enough to say, "I am married." It is not enough to post wedding pictures. It is not enough to wear a ring. It is not enough for families to gather, dance, eat, bless the union, and say, "Our daughter is married," or "Our son has brought home a wife." Voiceover. The deeper question is this: after the celebration is over, is there peace in that home? Is there respect? Is there love? Is there safety? Is there dignity? Is there partnership? Is there friendship? Are the children growing up in an atmosphere of security? Or are they growing up watching two wounded people destroy each other slowly? Because the home is not just a private space. The home is the first school of every child. The home is where tomorrow's leaders are formed. The home is where children learn how to love, how to speak, how to forgive, how to manage conflict, how to treat women, how to respect men, and how to understand themselves. So when marriages are unstable, unhappy, abusive, cold, disrespectful, or full of bitterness, the impact does not end with husband and wife. It reaches the children. It reaches the family. It reaches the community. It reaches the future. That is why this conversation matters. And this conversation is based on my book, How Not to Divorce. Because the goal is not just to prevent divorce on paper. The goal is to prevent emotional divorce while two people are still living under the same roof. Because many people are not legally divorced, but they are emotionally divorced. They sleep in the same house, but their hearts are far apart. They raise children together, but they do not speak with kindness. They attend family events together, but privately, they are lonely. They are married in public, but wounded in private. And today, we are asking, how did we get here? What role have African customs and traditions played in strengthening marriage? And what role have some customs and traditions played in hurting marriage? Where did tradition protect us? Where did tradition fail us? Where do we need to preserve wisdom? And where do we need to refine practices so that marriage does not become a place of pain, control, humiliation, or human rights abuse? Pause. Let us begin with the beauty of African marriage traditions. In many African societies, marriage was never just about two individuals. Marriage was about families. It was about community. It was about continuity. It was about responsibility. It was about respect. It was about bringing two families together. In the past, when a man wanted to marry, he did not simply wake up, meet someone, and disappear with her. Families were involved. Elders asked questions. People investigated character. They asked, who is this person? What kind of family do they come from? Are they hardworking? Are they respectful? Do they have a good reputation? Are they responsible? Are they peaceful? Are they faithful? This was not always a bad thing. In fact, there was wisdom in it. There was wisdom in knowing that marriage is too serious to be entered blindly. There was wisdom in understanding that love is not only emotion. Love must also be supported by character, values, family background, accountability, maturity, and responsibility. In many traditional settings, marriage came with counsel. Elders advised the couple. Aunties talked to the bride. Uncles talked to the groom. Families reminded the couple that marriage required patience, sacrifice, forgiveness, humility, and endurance. There was community accountability. If a husband mistreated his wife, her family could ask questions. If a wife disrespected her husband, his family could intervene. If there was conflict, elders could mediate. If there was misunderstanding, people did not always rush to separation. Families gathered and tried to restore peace. This part of tradition helped many marriages survive difficult seasons. It taught people that marriage is not a game. It taught that you do not walk in and walk out carelessly. It taught that children matter. It taught that family reputation matters. It taught that commitment matters. So we must be fair. African customs have helped many marriages remain stable. They have helped preserve family bonds. They have helped teach responsibility. They have created support systems. They have reminded couples that marriage is bigger than selfishness. But here is where we must be honest. The same tradition that can protect marriage can also damage marriage when it is not guided by consent, dignity, respect, and justice. Because tradition becomes dangerous when it protects the institution of marriage, but forgets the human beings inside the marriage. Tradition becomes dangerous when the question is only, are they still married? Instead of, are they safe? Are they respected? Are they loved? Are they growing? Are they emotionally healthy? Tradition becomes dangerous when elders say, stay for the children, but nobody asks what the children are learning from the pain they witness every day. Tradition becomes dangerous when people say, that is how men are, or that is how women must endure, or marriage is suffering, or a woman must tolerate everything, or a man can do whatever he wants because he paid bride price. That is not wisdom. That is not culture at its best. That is culture being misused. Let us talk about arranged marriages. In many African communities, parents have historically helped choose husbands or wives for their children. Sometimes, the parents saw something the young person did not see. Sometimes, family selection helped prevent reckless choices. Sometimes the families knew the background of the person. Sometimes two young people were introduced by trusted relatives and eventually built a stable, loving marriage. That type of family involvement is not automatically wrong. There is nothing wrong with a family introducing a potential spouse. There is nothing wrong with parents giving advice. There is nothing wrong with elders helping young people think carefully before marriage. There is nothing wrong with community wisdom. The problem begins when introduction becomes pressure. The problem begins when guidance becomes force. The problem begins when family advice becomes family control. The problem begins when a young woman or young man cannot say no. The problem begins when a person is emotionally blackmailed with words like, if you refuse this marriage, you are disrespecting us, or you will bring shame to the family, or this man lives abroad, so you must marry him, or this woman is from a good family, so you must accept her, or we have already collected bride price, so you cannot change your mind. That is where tradition crosses a line. Because marriage without free consent is not marriage in its highest form. It is pressure wrapped in ceremony, and a pressured marriage can become a prison. Let us talk about something that many people whisper about, but do not always discuss openly. There are situations where a man is living overseas, and family members back home select a wife for him. The family may say, we have found a good girl for you. Sometimes the man trusts the family. Sometimes the woman trusts the process. Sometimes the woman is told, he is abroad. Your life will be better. You will go overseas. He will educate you. He will help you. You will become somebody. And yes, in some cases, this works well. Some men bring their wives abroad, support them, educate them, love them, respect them, and build a beautiful life together. Some wives arrive overseas, grow, study, work, support the home, raise children, and become strong partners. Some families formed this way are stable, loving, and successful. We must acknowledge that, but we must also acknowledge the other side. In some cases, the woman arrives overseas and discovers that the dream she was promised is not the reality she is living. She may discover that she has no real support system. She may not know the laws of the country. She may not know her rights. She may depend completely on her husband for immigration status, transportation, money, documents, housing, and communication. She may be isolated. She may be told, "I brought you here." She may be reminded, "Without me, you are nothing." She may be treated as if she is not a wife, but a domestic worker. She cooks, cleans, gives birth, raises children, serves the man, serves his relatives, and still receives no respect. And when she complains, people may say, "Be grateful, at least he brought you abroad." But marriage is not supposed to be a visa transaction. Marriage is not supposed to be slavery with wedding pictures. Marriage is not supposed to be a system where one person says, "I elevated you, so I now own you." No. When a man educates his wife, supports her, or brings her abroad, that should be an act of love and partnership, not a lifetime weapon of control. When a woman leaves her country, her family, her friends, her language, her familiar environment, and moves into a new world to build a home with a man, she is also making a sacrifice. She is not a package that was shipped. She is a human being. She has dreams. She has intelligence. She has dignity. She has a voice. She has rights. She has emotions. She has a future. And if marriage is truly honourable, then both husband and wife must be honoured. Now let us talk about another painful reality. Some men are married, but they continue to live socially as if they are bachelors. They belong to bachelor-style groups. They attend gatherings where they present themselves as unmarried. They pose as available. They search for second wives, third wives, or fourth wives without honesty, transparency, or emotional responsibility. They enjoy the benefits of marriage at home, but perform singleness outside. They want a wife to cook, clean, raise children, and protect their image, but they also want the freedom of a single man. This creates deep wounds, because a wife is not only hurt by physical cheating, she is hurt by public humiliation. She is hurt by emotional abandonment. She is hurt when her husband behaves like marriage is a private convenience, but not a public commitment. And we must be honest, this is not only about African men. It can happen in many cultures. Women can also betray, deceive, disrespect, or emotionally abandon their spouses. But in this episode, we are examining a pattern that has appeared in some African marriages, especially where tradition, male privilege, migration, silence, and family pressure combine. When a married man continues to act like a bachelor, the wife begins to feel invisible. She asks, "Am I your wife or your housekeeper?" She asks, "Am I your partner or your secret?" She asks, "Did you marry me for love or for service?" She asks, "Do you respect me, or do you only respect what I do for you?" And when those questions go unanswered, resentment begins, bitterness begins, emotional distance begins. The marriage may still exist on paper, but the heart of the marriage begins to die. Now let us examine bride price. Bride price, dowry, or traditional marriage gifts have different meanings in different African communities. At their best, these gifts are not supposed to mean that a woman has been bought. They are supposed to symbolize appreciation, family honor, commitment, and respect. They can be part of a beautiful cultural ceremony. They can honor the bride's family. They can show seriousness. They can bring families together. But when bride price is misunderstood, it becomes dangerous. When a man says, "I paid for you," that is dangerous. When in-laws say, "We collected bride price, so you must endure everything," that is dangerous. When a woman is abused but people tell her, "Return the bride price first," that is dangerous. When money, cattle, gifts, or drinks become more important than the woman's safety, that is dangerous. Because no amount of bride price buys another human being. Marriage gifts should symbolize respect, not ownership. If a man pays bride price and then treats his wife like property, he has misunderstood the tradition. If a family receives bride price and then refuses to protect their daughter when she is suffering, they have misunderstood the tradition. If a community celebrates bride price but ignores abuse, the community has lost the moral purpose of the custom. Culture must never be used to legalize cruelty. Culture must never be used to silence pain. Culture must never be used to make a woman feel trapped. Culture must never be used to tell a man that leadership means domination. Let us talk about polygamy. Polygamy has existed in many African societies for generations. Historically, it was sometimes connected to agriculture, lineage, children, family expansion, widow protection, or social status. In some communities, it was accepted and regulated by custom. But again, we must ask, what happens when old practices meet modern realities? In the past, extended family systems were stronger. Communities were closer. Land-based economies were different. Women's economic roles were different. Social expectations were different. Today, many couples live in cities or overseas. Bills are high. Immigration laws are complex. Emotional expectations are different. Women are educated. Men are under pressure. Children need attention. Mental health matters. Marriage is no longer only about producing children or preserving lineage. Marriage is also about companionship, emotional intimacy, shared responsibility, and mutual respect. So when a man takes a second, third, or fourth wife without honesty, without fairness, without emotional maturity, without financial capacity, and without considering the impact on the first wife and children, he may call it tradition, but the result may be trauma. The question is not only, is polygamy traditional? The question is it honest? Is it just? Is it respectful? Is anyone being deceived? Is anyone being abandoned? Are children being neglected? Are women being emotionally destroyed? Is the man capable of loving, providing, protecting, and respecting every person involved? Because tradition without responsibility becomes selfishness, and selfishness destroys homes. Let us also talk about women's pain in silence. Many African women were raised to endure. They were told, a good woman keeps her home. They were told, do not expose your marriage. They were told, every marriage has problems. They were told, if you leave, people will laugh at you. They were told, think of the children. They were told, your mother endured, your grandmother endured, you too must endure. But we must ask, endure what? Endure ordinary disagreements? Yes, marriage requires patience. Endure financial hardship while both spouses are trying? Yes, marriage requires sacrifice. Endure seasons of stress, sickness, growth and adjustment? Yes, marriage requires commitment. But endure beatings, endure humiliation, endure emotional abuse, endure sexual coercion, endure abandonment, endure threats, endure being treated like a slave, endure being infected with diseases because of reckless behavior, endure a husband who publicly behaves unmarried while privately demanding loyalty, endure in-laws who insult, control, and manipulate? No, that is not marriage. That is suffering with a wedding certificate. And we must stop confusing endurance with destruction. A strong woman is not a woman who dies slowly in silence. A strong woman is a woman whose dignity remains intact. A wise family is not a family that forces their daughter to remain in danger. A wise family is a family that values life above public image. But let us also be fair to men. Many African men are carrying burdens they were never taught to express. Some were raised to believe that a man must never cry. A man must never admit weakness. A man must provide, perform, lead, dominate, and never ask for help. Some men marry before they are emotionally ready. Some men are pressured by family expectations. Some men living overseas become financial machines for extended family back home. They support parents, siblings, cousins, village projects, funerals, school fees, medical bills, and then still have to provide for wife and children. Some men feel used. Some men feel unappreciated. Some men do not know how to communicate pain, so they become cold, controlling, angry, or emotionally absent. Some men were never taught partnership. They were taught authority. Some men were never taught emotional intimacy. They were taught provision. Some men think, As long as I pay bills, I am a good husband. But a wife does not only need rent paid. She needs kindness. She needs respect. She needs conversation. She needs emotional safety. She needs partnership. She needs to know that she is not alone in the marriage. And men also need love. Men need peace. Men need appreciation. Men need respect. Men need emotional support. Men need a home where they are not only valued for money. So the solution is not to attack men. The solution is to heal the way we train boys and girls for marriage. We must teach boys that leadership is not control. We must teach girls that submission is not slavery. We must teach boys that strength includes tenderness. We must teach girls that respect includes self-respect. We must teach both that marriage is not a battlefield where one person wins and the other loses. Marriage is a covenant of partnership. Pause. Now let us look at the role of families. African families can be a blessing in marriage. A wise mother-in-law can bring peace. A wise father-in-law can guide with maturity. A wise auntie can advise without controlling. A wise uncle can correct without humiliating. A wise sibling can support without interfering. But family involvement becomes harmful when relatives begin to control the couple. When a husband reports every private issue to his family, the wife feels exposed. When a wife reports every private issue to her family, the husband feels attacked. When parents choose sides instead of promoting truth, the marriage suffers. When in-laws treat the wife like an outsider or servant, the marriage suffers. When in-laws treat the husband like an ATM, the marriage suffers. When families say, "Our child is always right," the marriage suffers. Marriage needs support, but it also needs boundaries. When two people marry, they do not abandon their families, but they must form a new family unit. A husband must be able to tell his relatives, "Respect my wife." A wife must be able to tell her relatives, "Respect my husband." Both must be able to say, "You can advise us, but you cannot control us." This is not disrespect. This is maturity. Let us talk about migration and power imbalance. When a spouse moves from Africa to Europe, America, Canada, or another country through marriage, there can be a major power imbalance. The spouse who is already established may know the language, the law, the roads, the systems, the banks, the immigration process, and the culture. The incoming spouse may depend on them for almost everything. This can create vulnerability. In a healthy marriage, the established spouse uses that position to support, guide, protect, and empower. They help the new spouse learn the system. They encourage education. They help them understand finances. They introduce them to healthy community. They do not isolate them. They do not hide their documents. They do not threaten deportation. They do not use immigration status as a weapon. They do not say, "I brought you here, so obey me." No. A healthy spouse says, "You are my partner. I want you to grow. Your success is not a threat to me. Your education is not a threat to me. Your confidence is not a threat to me. Your independence is not a threat to me. When you rise, our family rises." But an insecure spouse may do the opposite. They may educate the woman only to later resent her education. They may bring her overseas, but then fear her independence. They may want her to work and contribute financially, but still expect her to carry all domestic labor alone. They may want her to be modern when bills are due, but traditional when decisions are made. They may say, "Help me pay the mortgage," but also say, "I am the man, so you have no voice." That contradiction is destroying many marriages. You cannot ask for a modern financial partner and then treat her like a traditional servant. You cannot enjoy your wife's income and reject her opinion. You cannot benefit from her education and resent her confidence. And women too must be careful. If a man supports you, do not later despise him. If he helped you rise, do not mock his sacrifice. If he stood by you when you had nothing, do not become arrogant when you become successful. Marriage must not become a competition of who made who. Marriage must become a testimony of how two people helped each other become better. Now let us discuss the children. Children are watching. They are watching how daddy speaks to mommy. They are watching how mommy responds to daddy. They are watching how conflict is handled. They are watching whether love is gentle or harsh. They are watching whether marriage is friendship or punishment. A boy who watches his father disrespect his mother may grow up thinking disrespect is masculinity. A girl who watches her mother suffer silently may grow up thinking pain is the price of marriage. A boy who watches his mother insult his father may grow up confused about respect. A girl who watches her father abandon the family emotionally may struggle to trust men. Children may not understand everything, but they absorb atmosphere. They know when the house is cold. They know when there is tension. They know when one parent is crying. They know when one parent is afraid. They know when love has disappeared. This is why happy marriages matter. Not perfect marriages. Happy marriages, healthy marriages, respectful marriages. Marriages where conflict happens, but cruelty is not normal. Marriages where people disagree, but they do not destroy each other. Marriages where children see apology. Marriages where children see forgiveness. Marriages where children see teamwork. Marriages where children see prayer, patience, laughter, responsibility, and love. Because when children grow in healthy homes, they carry emotional strength into the world. They become better leaders, better spouses, better parents, better citizens, better human beings. So what do we do now? How do we refine tradition without destroying culture? First, we must restore consent. If families want to introduce a spouse, let them introduce. But the man and woman must freely choose. No pressure, no threats, no manipulation, no shame, no emotional blackmail, no forced agreement because elders have already spoken. A marriage that begins without consent begins with a wound. Second, we must educate both parties before marriage. Not just the woman, not just the man, both. They must discuss expectations. Where will we live? How will we manage money? Do we want children? How many? What is our view on polygamy? What is our view on in-laws? What is our view on women working? What is our view on men helping at home? What is our view on faith? What is our conflict style? What happens if one person loses a job? What happens if one person wants to go back to school? What happens if we move overseas? What happens if immigration issues arise? What are our boundaries with friends? What are our boundaries with bachelor groups, women's groups, social clubs, and online relationships? These conversations may not sound romantic, but they protect marriage. Love without clarity becomes confusion. Third, we must stop using bride price as control. Bride price should be symbolic, not oppressive. Families should never use bride price to trap a woman in abuse. Men should never use bride price to claim ownership. If bride price is practiced, let it be done with dignity, moderation, and understanding. Fourth, we must create community accountability for abuse. Not gossip, not public shame. Accountability. If someone is being abused, the community must not silence them. Churches, elders, family members, and community leaders must learn the difference between normal marital conflict and abuse. A disagreement is not abuse. A difficult season is not abuse. But threats, violence, coercion, humiliation, forced sex, financial control, document control, isolation, and intimidation are serious. Telling someone to just pray while they are being destroyed is not spiritual wisdom. Prayer is powerful, but prayer must not be used as an excuse for inaction. Fifth, we must prepare men for emotional leadership. A husband is not just a provider. A husband is a partner. A husband is a protector of peace. A husband is a builder of emotional safety. A husband is not weak because he listens. He is not weak because he apologizes. He is not weak because he helps at home. He is not weak because he honors one woman publicly and privately. He is not weak because he refuses to act single among friends. That is strength. Sixth, we must prepare women for partnership, not silent suffering. A wife is not a slave. A wife is not a child. A wife is not an object. A wife is not an employee. A wife is a partner. But partnership also requires responsibility. Respect your husband. Do not weaponize success. Do not humiliate him publicly. Do not compare him to other men. Do not allow your family to control your marriage. Do not use children as weapons. Do not bring bitterness into every conversation. Both men and women must do the work. Because marriage cannot be healed by blaming only one side. Marriage is healed when truth enters the room. Let us return to the question of tradition. Should African customs be thrown away? No. Should they be worshipped blindly? No. Tradition must be examined. Tradition must be refined. Tradition must be purified. Tradition must serve life. Tradition must serve dignity. Tradition must serve love. Tradition must serve family stability. Tradition must serve the well-being of children. Any tradition that strengthens commitment, respect, family support, accountability, and wisdom should be preserved. Any tradition that removes consent, excuses abuse, silences victims, treats women as property, encourages male irresponsibility, humiliates men, or traps people in misery must be corrected. Culture is not dead. Culture can grow. Culture can mature. Culture can be refined. Our ancestors adapted to their time. We too must adapt to ours. The world has changed. Women are educated. Men and women migrate. Families live across continents. Economic realities have changed. Legal systems have changed. Children are growing up with global exposure. Social media has changed relationships. Mental health conversations are growing. Young people are asking different questions, so we cannot use yesterday's methods without wisdom for today's realities. We must ask, what is the principle behind the custom? If the principle is respect, keep respect. If the principle is accountability, keep accountability. If the principle is family unity, keep unity. If the principle is commitment, keep commitment. But remove control, remove coercion, remove silence, remove abuse, remove humiliation, remove ownership. That is how we honor culture without destroying people. Now, to the young woman watching this. If your family is introducing you to a man, ask questions. Do not be blinded by overseas status. Do not marry only because someone lives in America, Canada, Europe, or another country. A visa is not a marriage. A passport is not character. A house abroad is not love. Ask, is he kind? Is he honest? Is he emotionally mature? Does he respect women? Does he want a partner or a servant? Does he communicate? Does he have self-control? Is he transparent about his marital status? Does he already have children? Does he belong to groups where he presents himself as single? What are his expectations? What does he believe about a wife's education? What does he believe about money? What does he believe about in-laws? What does he believe about conflict? Do not ignore red flags because the man is abroad. Pain abroad is still pain. Loneliness abroad is still loneliness. Disrespect abroad is still disrespect. A beautiful airport arrival can become a painful prison if you do not ask questions before you go. And to the young man watching this, if your family is helping you find a wife, remember, you are not ordering a helper. You are choosing a life partner. Do not bring someone's daughter overseas and then treat her like unpaid labor. Do not use her lack of knowledge against her. Do not isolate her. Do not threaten her. Do not educate her and then resent her growth. Do not marry her for tradition and then live like a bachelor. If you are not ready to be faithful, honest, respectful, and responsible, do not marry. Marriage is not a decoration. Marriage is not a status symbol. Marriage is not proof that you are successful. Marriage is a responsibility before God, family, community, and the person whose heart you are holding. To parents and elders watching this, your role is powerful. You can help build a home, or you can help destroy it. Please, do not force your children into marriages for status, money, immigration opportunities, family alliances, or pride. Do not say yes on behalf of your child when your child is afraid to speak. Do not collect bride price and then ignore your daughter's tears. Do not pressure your son to marry someone he does not love. Do not protect your child when your child is the one causing harm. If your son is abusing his wife, correct him. If your daughter is abusing her husband, correct her. If your child is wrong, do not defend wrong because of blood. Marriage needs elders who love truth more than chaos.